Rush County Sheriff's Department is asking for your help finding a missing 17-year-old.
Valerie Tyndall disappeared last June after telling her parents she was going to work for their neighbor.
If you know exactly where she's at, just tell me where she's at.
I do not know. I swear to God.
Any idea at all?
Nope.
결정적 혐의를 입증할 증거가 없어 결국 풀려난 용의자. 사건은 이대로 미궁에 빠지는 듯했습니다. 하지만 항공사진을 분석하던 경찰은 특이점을 발견하게 됩니다. 바로 사건 발생 직전 용의자의 집 근처에 커다란 구덩이가 파져 있었던 것이죠. 그런데 지금은 나무와 돌로 덮여 있었습니다. 확실한 물증이 묻혀 있음을 직감한 경찰.
Sheriff's Department! Just chill. We're not gonna knock it. Just chill. We're not gonna kick it in. They'll come to. What's going on, Patrick? You alright?
Yeah.
Got some search warrants for your property here.
In which we found the box with Valerie's body in it behind your shed.
What'd I do to her?
What'd you do to her? Tell us what you did to her.
Strangled her.
With what?
A belt.
도대체 어떤 끔찍한 일이 벌어졌던 것일까? 완벽한 알리바이를 꿈꾸던 악마는 어떻게 논리가 무너졌을까? 그리고 법원은 이 악마에게 어떤 처벌을 내렸을까? 지금부터 저와 함께 이 사건의 전말을 파헤쳐 보겠습니다. 처벌 실화냐? (2023년 6월 7일) 밤 미국 인디애나주의 평화로운 마을 알링턴. 17세 고등학생 발레리가 집에 돌아오지 않았습니다. 밤이 늦도록 딸과 연락이 닿지 않자 부모는 불안감을 느꼈습니다. 하지만 실종 신고하기 전 길 건너편 이웃집에 사는 패트릭 스콧에게 연락했죠. 자신의 딸이 스콧의 사업체에서 파트타임으로 일하고 있었기 때문입니다. 하지만 그날은 발레리가 오지 않았고 못 본 지 며칠 됐다는 스콧의 답변. 이제는 미룰 수 없다고 판단하던 그때 현관문에 누군가 도착했습니다. 그것은 바로 스콧과 그의 아내 린다였습니다. 너무 걱정하지 말고 같이 찾아보자는 그들. 그리고 단순히 10대 때 흔히 하는 가출이니 금방 돌아올 거라며 그들을 안심시켰습니다. 그런데 그들은 몰랐습니다. 경찰의 첫 번째 수사망에 오른 용의자가 패트릭 스콧이라는 것을요. 발레리가 실종된 6월 7일부터 6월 26일. 경찰은 19일 동안 치밀하게 초기 수사를 벌이고 있었습니다. 단순 가출로 보기엔 납득하기 어려운 정황들이 꼬리를 물었기 때문입니다. 가장 먼저 든 의문은 스콧의 거짓말이었습니다. 경찰 탐문 수사 결과 스콧의 고객 중 한 명이 당일 아침에 점심 약속하는 것을 들었다고 진술했습니다. 이에 이상함을 느낀 수사관들은 즉각 통신사 영장을 발부받아 기지국 데이터를 분석했습니다. 기록에는 오전 11시 23분 발레리가 스콧에게 곧 도착한다라는 문자가 남아 있었습니다. 그리고 11시 반 무렵 쉘비빌에 있는 스콧의 작업장 사우스 하이가든에 위치가 잡혔죠. 그리고 12시 59분경 그녀의 위치는 알링턴에서 신호가 끊겼습니다. 그리고 이 위치를 구글맵에 입력한 경찰은 소름이 돋았습니다. 그곳은 바로 스콧의 집 근처였기 때문입니다. 두 사람이 만났다는 사실은 명백한 증거로 밝혀졌습니다. 그런데 왜 그는 유가족에게 발레리를 만나지 않았다고 거짓말했던 것일까? 차량 행방 또한 의문투성이었습니다. 실종 며칠 뒤 전혀 다른 아파트 단지에서 발레리의 회색 혼다 어코드 차량이 발견되었던 것이죠. 프로파일러의 관점에서 볼 때 이는 범인이 저질렀을 확률이 크다는 의견입니다. 차가 그곳에 계속 주차되어 있다면 자신에게 수사망이 집중되는 것을 우려한 인물. 자연스럽게 그 화살은 스콧을 향하고 있었습니다. 여기에 실종 당일 새벽 2시경 스콧이 차고 일부를 뜯어내 급하게 불태우는 모습을 보았다는 목격담까지 더해지며 의혹은 점차 짙어졌습니다. 동선이 이상하다고 생각하던 경찰은 이 둘의 관계에 의문을 갖기 시작했습니다. 처음엔 그저 딸의 친구를 예뻐하는 다정한 사장님 호의로 보였습니다. 평소에 밥을 사주고 주유비와 용돈을 쥐어주었죠. 그런데 뭔가 수상쩍은 점들이 보이자 이를 전형적인 그루밍 범죄의 정황으로 보았습니다. 피해자 방을 수색하다가 발견된 수족관 사진이 그 의심을 증폭시켰죠. 단순히 알바생과 사장 사이에서 찍을 수 있는 사진이 아니었기 때문입니다. 그리고 이날은 발레리가 스콧 가족 전체가 함께 가는 여행이라고 부모에게 거짓말을 한 날이었습니다. 그리고 수사 과정에서 가장 기괴한 사실이 드러납니다. 피해자의 온라인 계정과 디지털 기록을 추적한 결과 폰 안에 실시간 위치 추적 앱이 깔려 있었고 그 관리 권한이 스콧과 연결되어 있었다는 충격적인 사실을 알아낸 겁니다. 그런데 그 폰을 선물한 사람이 스콧이었죠. 즉 24시간 내내 17세 발레리의 일거수일투족을 감시해온 정황이 포착된 겁니다. 피해자에게 금전적 편의를 제공하며 경계를 허물고 통제하고 소유할 수 있는 대상으로 여기는 그루밍 범죄가 입증되는 순간이었습니다. 거짓된 알리바이, 번호판이 뜯긴 차량, 새벽에 수상한 행동, 그리고 그루밍과 수상한 위치까지. 경찰은 이 19일간의 수사를 통해 스콧이 유력한 용의자라는 정황을 모두 쥐고 있었습니다. 하지만 수사관들은 이 패를 철저히 숨겼습니다. 그리고 모르는 척 스콧을 신문실로 불러들이죠. 거짓말을 덮으려는 용의자와 이미 진실을 꿰뚫고 있는 수사관. 이 둘의 첫 번째 심리전이 시작됐습니다. 발레리가 실종된 지 19일째 되던 6월 26일.
If you would, just real quick for the first time here, would you state your full name and your date of birth, please?
Patrick Allen Scott,
Okay.
November 25th, 1964.
Okay. All right, great. You understand why you're in here today? Because you're going to give a statement and talk to us about a runaway juvenile, right?
Right,
As Valerie Tyndall.
right.
처음엔 화요일에 보았다고 거짓말을 했던 스콧. 수사관은 이것을 명확하게 지적하며 용의자를 압박하기 시작합니다. 그러자 기다렸다는 듯 수정된 알리바이를 꺼내놓습니다.
Alright, Patrick, so you're here today because of Valerie Tyndall, who's been missing or run away since June 7th, which was a Wednesday of this, right?
Right,
Now, you know Valerie because a couple different ways here. One, she's your neighbor, right?
right.
She lives there kind of like in front of you?
Yeah,
Okay. And she also works for you, right? In the
Right.
summer, help mow grass and things like that,
Part-time,
right?
yeah.
Part-time, okay. And when she does that grass, when she does mow grass for you and works with you, is she usually with you? Do you drive her from job to job?
yes,
So you guys are always together?
yes.
Okay. So there's never a time where you have her meet you at a job? You bring
Just once,
just once?
just once.
How long ago was that? Before June? Before she ran away?
Yeah,
Before she left? Okay.
yeah. Right after, shortly after school let
Okay,
out.
all right, okay. So, I spoke to you at your house on about, I think it was Saturday, June 10th. I saw you outside. Do you remember me stopping by?
Yes,
Okay. And I asked you that day when you saw Valerie last, right?
right.
And you remember what you told me?
Tuesday,
Told me Tuesday before Wednesday, the Wednesday before she'd gone, right?
right.
And that's not true, is it?
No,
자신의 작업장에서 만났다가 발레리는 호머라는 지역에 내려주고 자신은 집으로 돌아왔다는 용의자.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Valerie?
Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday afternoon. Where did you meet up with her at?
South High Gardens.
South High Gardens in Shelbyville.
Yes.
Okay. What were you driving at that point?
I had my truck and the car both.
You had the truck and the car, both at
South High.
South High.
Right.
So what did you drive there that day
The truck.
with your trailer too?
Yes.
Okay. How did the car get there?
I had moved it there like the day before, 2 days before,
Why did you do that?
because she was going to take off.
So you gonna give her a car to use?
No, I was just going to give her a ride.
Okay. So she called you on Tuesday?
No, she told me a couple days before she was going to leave.
Okay. So she had
I didn't think she'd go through with it, but she did.
Okay. So she planned this with you.
Well, she planned it. I just
You went
helped her.
along. You just went along.
Yeah.
So you're already there. Were you there mowing when she showed up on Wednesday?
Yes,
Okay. So you're at South High Gardens mowing grass.
yes,
And she shows up in her car, her green Honda Accord.
right.
Okay. Then I take it you stop mowing.
Well, I was already done.
You're done. Okay. And you met up with her, right?
Right,
And what? She got in the Ford Taurus with you,
right,
and you guys left South High Gardens
right.
and left her car there,
Yes,
along with your truck and trailer.
yes,
Okay. From there, you came back to Rush County. Is that right?
right.
Okay. And on your way to Rush County, was she on her phone, using her phone?
She texts a lot. She don't talk on it much.
Right. But she was using her phone.
Yeah, she
She's communicating.
texts all the time.
She's doing something.
Yes.
Okay. And did you know where you was taking her before that day?
Well, I thought we was going back to Rushville, but we stopped in Homer's where we went to.
Okay, so she had you stop in Homer.
Yes.
Okay. And what happened in Homer?
She got out of the car and got in with another guy.
Okay. What kind of car did she get in?
They just kind of a pale blue car is all I know.
Pale blue.
Right. Model, I can't tell you, I don't know.
So you say pale blue, does that mean it was dark
Um,
or bright? Light?
no, not dark. It would be, I guess kind of in here, like maybe a little darker than this right here.
Okay. All right.
That's,
완벽한 알리바이처럼 들리지만 수사관은 속으로 어이가 없었을 겁니다. 경찰은 이미 통신사 기지국 데이터를 통해 발레리의 휴대폰이 호머 방향으로는 얼씬도 하지 않았다는 사실을 알고 있었기 때문입니다.
So when you dropped her off at Homer, where was that at again?
right where the old garage used to be on 44.
The old garage used to be on 44.
You
Okay.
know what I'm talking about, that
Yeah.
pole barn, just right at the end of that drive. We come off, pulled right up there.
Okay. Okay. So on the east side. That's on the east side, right?
Yes.
So she got out there. Did she take her phone?
Yes.
Okay. And she got in this pale blue car with this guy.
Yes.
What does this guy look like?
I have no idea. I didn't see him.
Okay. Could you tell that, was he by himself?
Yes, from what it looked like.
And then from there, when you dropped her off, where did you go?
I went back to the house.
Went back to the house. Your house.
My house.
In Arlington.
Yes.
Okay. That was the last time you seen her?
When I dropped her off, yes.
That's the last time you talked to her?
That was the last time I talked to her.
스콧의 거짓말이 계속되자 수사관은 차량의 행방을 미끼로 던집니다.
Now, how did her car get there again?
I moved it there
Okay. So when did you move the car there?
Thursday.
Thursday. So you drove over to South High Gardens.
Right.
Okay. And you still went to South High and you moved her car to Berwick.
Yes.
Did you remove the plate?
No.
Okay. You did not remove the plate.
No.
Okay. And then you walked back to your truck?
Yes.
South High Gardens.
Yes.
Did somebody remove the plate from the car? Did you remove the plate from the car?
No.
Because I believe the license plate has been removed.
It has been removed?
I think so. I believe that's what I was told, yes. I have to confirm that, but I believe that's what I was told, yes. And you didn't do that?
No.
이 역시 소름 돋는 거짓말입니다. 발레리가 수요일에 호머에서 가출했다면 스콧이 굳이 다음 날 발레리의 차를 전혀 다른 아파트 단지로 숨기듯 옮겨둘 이유가 없습니다. 더구나 발견 당시 차량 번호판은 추적을 피하기 위해 고의로 떼어진 상태였습니다.
Before I walk out of here, is there anything else that you need to tell me right now that I should know about? About Valerie, about where she's at, or anything, or you talk to her?
No.
Because if we find anything else out, this does not help you.
I know.
You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know where she's at. I don't know nothing. No phone, no nothing.
All right.
자신이 불리한 곳에서는 기가 막히게 선을 긋는 용의자. 잠시 후 다시 신문실로 돌아온 수사관은 용의자의 멘탈을 본격적으로 흔들어 놓기 시작합니다. 그리고 숨겨두었던 첫 번째 패를 꺼냅니다.
Now, I'm just going to kind of be honest with you here for a minute, Patrick, okay? So, her phone location, which way did you say the blue car went on that day when you dropped her off?
Which way? What?
The blue car, the day you dropped her off on Wednesday, which way did you go?
It turned like it was going out 44 towards Rushville.
Okay. Did you actually see it turn left or right on 44?
No, because that's the way it kind of was angled, and I turned and I just went right on up the pike.
Okay. Did you ever notice it following you, being behind you for any reason?
No.
Okay. So, we know, just from you telling me right now and confirming with other things that we know, I know where her phone was at during that day, during that time, before it was shut off.
Right.
And it was shut off closer to Arlington, not Homer. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And she actually sent a message just before she shut it off. And that put her closer to Arlington. Okay.
She sent a message?
Yeah. So it's very important right now that you tell me the truth, that she wasn't with you at that point.
No, she wasn't with me.
Okay? Because here's the deal. I mean, if you're helping her,
No.
if you have been helping her, this is the time to stop and now tell us where she's
No,
at.
I have not helped her. But if she would have showed up at a job site asking for money, I would have given it to her.
Did you do that?
I would have. I haven't.
Okay.
Because I know she's got to be out of money. She got in the truck one morning a couple weeks ago, and she was pissed. I knew she was when she got in the truck because of the way that she was texting. I mean, she was violently texting. She then said, I asked her, I said, are you mad? And she was pissed because the boy dumped her. She talked him into taking her back, just so she could dump him a week later. Then he showed up at their house, I want to say Monday before she disappeared, and got his stuff.
So she discussed this with you about her wanting to leave?
Yeah, she's been discussing it for a long time.
And did she discuss it prior to Wednesday, within a couple of days before Wednesday, about this idea of what she was wanting to do?
I'll tell you the truth, I thought she was leaving Saturday night, because she said she was leaving Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
스콧의 진술대로라면 호머에서 발레리를 낯선 차에 태워보낸 뒤 자신은 집으로 돌아왔으니 두 사람의 휴대폰 위치는 서로 다른 방향을 가리켰어야 정상입니다. 하지만 데이터는 정반대였습니다. 호머로 갔다던 발레리의 휴대폰 동선은 스콧의 동선과 완벽하게 겹친 채 이동하고 있었던 겁니다. 그것도 다름 아닌 스콧의 집을 향해서 말입니다. 명백한 과학적 증거 앞에서도 스콧은 눈 하나 깜짝하지 않았습니다. 당황한 기색을 숨긴 채 횡설수설 피해자에게 책임을 돌리기 시작하죠.
So you have no idea where this girl's at?
No, I have none whatsoever. I swear to God, I don't know where she
It
is.
is hard to believe you on that. Just
I know.
For the mere fact
I
that
know.
you lied to us from the very beginning.
I know. But I do not know where she's at. I really
We
don't.
probably could have found her we probably could have found her. Right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably could have found her a lot easier, a lot quicker.
끝까지 피해자의 자발적 가출을 주장하는 스콧. 이에 수사관은 스콧에게 신문실 현장에서 직접 발레리의 휴대전화로 전화를 걸어보라고 지시합니다. 경찰은 이미 통신사 영장을 통해 발레리의 폰 전원이 스콧의 집 근처에서 완전히 끊겼다는 사실을 확보한 상태였습니다. 당연히 전화가 연결되지 않을 것임을 알고 있었음에도 굳이 전화를 걸게 한 것. 이는 용의자가 자신이 살해한 피해자에게 전화를 걸 때 보이는 망설임이나 감정적 동요를 확인하기 위한 고도의 심리전이었습니다. 하지만 스콧은 일말의 망설임도 없이 이미 죽고 없는 발레리에게 태연하게 전화를 거는 소름 끼치는 침착함을 보입니다. 이런 용의자의 태도에 수사관은 실종 당일 저녁의 행적을 캐물으며 압박 수준을 극도로 높여갑니다.
So do you understand? Like here's a scenario that rolls out in my head. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I think you and her talked a lot. I don't think she got along with her parents very well, and I think you know that too, right? And I think that I think she wants to leave. Okay, I think she wants to leave her mom and dad's, and I think you know that as well. And that's what she's always implied, right? She was leaving. She always says she's leaving, right?
Right.
The scenario that plays out in my head is that you were willing to try to help her somehow, which obviously you did. I mean, semi helped her a little bit, just from what you told me. Now I think it's further than that. I think you helped her more than what you're telling me. That's just how.
I didn't. I haven't.
Just how it looks. It's how it looks. It's how it feels. Everything kind of shows that. It just seems weird to me. That you didn't want this young girl to be found right away. If you did, you would have told us right away when we talked to her, or when we talked to you. Or you would have said something on Wednesday. I think you knew on Wednesday that she was missing, right? You knew Wednesday something was wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because I noticed that in your text messages that, let me find it here real quick. I noticed that on Wednesday, June 7th, she told you she's going to be there soon. You remember that?
No, but
It said, I'll be there soon. Okay? And at 5:40 p.m., you asked her where she was. You said, hey, where are you? Okay? Why did you ask that?
I wanted to find out where she was at.
Had you talked to her parents already before this message?
No.
When did you talk to her parents? Exactly. I know you did at some point.
6:30? 7 o'clock?
On Wednesday?
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, her parents talked to you.
Yeah, her mom.
Her mom did.
Yeah.
And told you that she was at home. What did she tell you?
Wanted to know if she was still working.
And what did you tell her?
Said no, she didn't work today.
Okay. But you didn't want to tell her that you saw her though, right?
No.
Why not?
She said she wanted to go.
She says she wanted to go, so you're helping. You're trying to help her. Don't want to dime her out, right?
Right.
What makes me believe? What can you do to make me believe that you're still not trying to not dime her out right now?
I'm not trying to get her in trouble. I don't want to get her in trouble. I mean, I could have got her in a lot of trouble with her dad, but I didn't want to.
Okay.
I mean, he's pretty mean with her.
Okay. So you see the scenario in my head is that you're this nice guy. You're kind of like a father figure to her, probably. She probably looks up to you a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she does. And you're trying to help her. Okay. So the best way you can help her right now is if you know exactly where she's at, is to tell me where she's at.
I do not know. I swear to God.
Any idea at all?
Nope. Nope. I thought she went to Illinois. I really did. I thought she took off that boy to Illinois.
And the last time you saw her or talked to her was that day, June 7th, when you dropped her off at Homer.
Wednesday, yeah.
아버지에게 혼날까봐 가출을 도와주었다는 따뜻한 이웃집 아저씨의 연기. 하지만 이 또한 철저히 계산된 행동이었습니다. 경찰은 스콧이 발레리의 폰에 위치 추적 앱까지 깔고 24시간 감시했다는 사실을 알고 있었습니다. 이미 죽고 없는 피해자에게 어디냐고 문자를 남기고 애타게 딸을 찾는 부모에게 거짓말을 한 것은 완벽한 알리바이를 구축하기 위한 기만술이었습니다. 스콧이 끝까지 파란색 차를 탄 가출이라는 주장을 굽히지 않자 수사관은 마지막 승부수를 던집니다. 현장에 감시 카메라가 있다고 압박하는 이른바 블러핑이었습니다.
So if we go back and look around and we find that this, what if we go back, what if we have a camera right there we can look at and we don't see that being true? How would you answer to that?
How is it what?
I said, what if we go back and find a camera right there in the area? What if someone had a ring camera or something like that, or had surveillance footage, and we go back and we look at it, and that's not true. There's no blue car there that you dropped her off at, because I'm sure
That's where I dropped her off.
I'm sure there's plenty of surveillance there. I'm sure we could probably look at.
What is it?
There's probably plenty of surveillance in that neighborhood we can
Oh,
probably look at.
probably.
Okay, and I'm sure that's probably what's going to happen. Okay, and so if we do see that, if we do find that surveillance and we see it, and this doesn't come back to being what it is that you're telling me, okay, now you prolong this longer,
Right.
is this going to help you or is it going to hurt you?
It's not going to hurt me.
Well, it would if you're not telling me the truth.
Right.
So that's what I'm asking you. Before we do all that, you're telling me the truth. You dropped her off
Yes.
in Homer
Yes.
on June 7th.
Yes. Haven't seen or heard from her since. And I swear to God, I thought by now she would have showed up somewhere asking for money.
수사관의 날선 압박에도 스콧은 전혀 흔들리지 않았습니다. 경찰 역시 정황 증거만 있을 뿐 명확한 물증인 시신을 아직 찾지 못한 상황이었습니다. 결국 1차 신문은 그를 살인죄로 올가매지 못한 채 허위 정보 제공이라는 경범죄 혐의로 입건하는 선에서 마무리되었습니다.
Alrighty. So, Valerie's still missing, right? Okay. So, any idea where she may be or anything like that?
No, but by now I imagine she's probably running scared since I'm in trouble, so.
Okay.
But I haven't talked to her. I figure I would by now, but
Okay. You willing to answer questions if I ask you questions today?
no, that's my attorney now.
Okay. I have some search warrants to execute today for you, okay?
Okay.
So, run through them real quick. What search warrants we got? I've got 3 search warrants to execute, okay?
Okay.
So one search warrant's gonna be for 2 swabs of the inside of your mouth, okay? And I'll
Okay.
read it to you, but I'll just explain them to you and then I'll read them all to you
Okay.
individually, okay? So the first one that we'll do is for the swabs of your mouth. The second search warrant is for the address
Okay.
for the property, okay? And the third search warrant is for
Okay.
That's what the 3 search warrants are for. I will read them to you and then I'll sign them when we execute them,
Okay.
okay?
1차 신문에서 끝내 살인 혐의를 입증할 단서를 찾지 못한 경찰. 스콧은 허위 정보 제공 및 수사방해 혐의로 입건됐지만 경범죄에 해당하는 보석금을 내고 풀려나 태연하게 일상으로 돌아갔습니다. 하지만 경찰은 자택과 근처에 있는 50여 개의 곳에 걸쳐 광범위한 수색을 벌였습니다. 하지만 스콧의 집 안팎 어디에서도 발레리의 흔적이나 살해 흉기는 발견되지 않았습니다. 수사는 점차 미궁 속으로 빠져드는 듯했습니다. 어느덧 실종 4개월 차에 접어든 2023년 10월 11일 경찰은 마지막 가능성을 열어두고 스콧의 소유지에서 멀지 않은 깊은 연못 주변에 사체 탐지견과 구조견 팀을 투입합니다. 그리고 연못 근처에서 탐지견들이 마구짖기 시작했습니다. 수사관들은 직감적으로 연못 안에 시신이 유기되었을 것이라 판단했습니다. 즉각 잠수부가 투입되고 수중 음파 탐지기까지 동원해 연못 바닥을 샅샅이 뒤졌습니다. 하지만 물속에서는 아무것도 나오지 않았습니다. 이대로 범행은 영원히 묻히는 듯 했습니다. 그런데 경찰에게 기막힌 아이디어 하나가 떠오릅니다. 바로 항공사진을 분석하는 것이었죠. 수사관들은 실종 이전의 과거 위성사진과 최근의 항공사진을 시간순으로 나열해 비교하기 시작했습니다. 그러자 스콧의 두 번째 부지, 헛간 뒤편에서 기이한 변화가 포착됩니다. 실종 무렵에는 땅이 깊게 파진 흔적이 뚜렷했는데 시간을 돌려 최근 사진을 보니 그 위를 나뭇가지와 쓰레기로 덮어 감쪽같이 위장해 놓은 겁니다. 억지로 파헤친 뒤 덮어버린 수상한 흙무더기. 경찰은 발레리의 시신이 바로 이곳에 묻혀 있다고 직감했습니다. 하지만 경찰은 섣불리 들이닥치지 않았습니다. 스콧이 눈치를 채고 증거를 훼손하거나 도주하는 것을 완벽하게 차단하기 위해 무려 한 달 동안 FBI와 공조하며 치밀한 동시다발적 기습작전을 준비했습니다. 마침내 모든 영장이 발부된 11월 28일 아침, 경찰은 두 개의 팀으로 나뉘어 일제히 움직입니다. B팀이 시신이 묻혀 있을 것으로 의심되는 위치로 이동해 땅을 팔 준비를 하는 동안 A팀은 수색영장을 들고 스콧의 집을 덮쳤습니다.
Guess we should have talked about that other property. She's scared. This is running. Ready? Yep.
Sheriff's Department!
Just chill. Just chill. We're not gonna knock it. We're not gonna kick it in. Just chill. We're not gonna kick it in. They'll come to it. Hey, Patrick. Hi, guys. What's going on, Patrick? You all right?
Yeah.
Got some search warrants for your property here. We need to come in and talk to you, all right? Okay, let's go on in.
(11월 28일) 확실한 물증을 확보하기 위해 경찰은 스콧을 다시 신문실에 앉혔습니다.
So, Patrick, over the last 5 months, you and I have gotten to know each other, correct?
Okay.
Correct? You've seen me a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And every time we talk, we get along good, right?
I reckon.
We talk, right? We have no issue talking, correct? Okay. Here's the deal tonight. Now, I normally don't do this. Okay, but here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you, because here's why. Here's why. You know, I can play off like 8 million things right here. As you come and sit in this room, your mind plays tricks on you as an officer, all right? And it tells you to go all these different directions and try all this different stuff. But the fact of the matter is that I think you're overall probably a pretty good person, okay? If I didn't, I would have treated you probably different over the time, all right? So today, as we drove in here just for 40 minutes and we just drove in together, in my head, as your head's doing of what's about to happen, in my head, I'm like, how am I going to talk to Patrick? And you know what I decided when I walked through the door? I'm just going to talk to you like a person, all right? And then there's times like you sit in this interview room and maybe that didn't happen in the past, all right? But the fact of the matter is that the natural human thing is when you do something wrong is you want to tell us that you did something wrong, okay? The other thing is that there's family involved. There's mistakes that's been made, okay? So what I made the decision of when I walked through that door right there was, I would like to talk to you today, and I would like you to tell me what happened to Valerie. That's the end result of what I want to know, okay? But here's what's weird about today. I'm going to tell you everything I know, Because here's the deal. In the end, I believe you've done something to Valerie.
What?
I believe you've done something to Valerie, and we're going to prove it, all right? But what I want to know is the why. And what you want to tell me is, I'm sitting here watching you tear up right now. You want to tell me the why, okay? So, does that make sense?
I guess.
I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be a person to you that you understand. I sit across a lot of people, okay? And the day one I sit across, or the times I've sat across from you, you remind me of a common man that goes to work, that works his butt off, and is a family man that loves his family. That's what I get from you, okay? And I may be completely wrong, but that's what I got from you in the 5 months that I have known you, okay? So as the case went, and here it is, Patrick, I'm going to lay it out to you. But in the end, I really want you to tell me the why. As June 7th went, that day, we know Valerie was with you. Admittedly, you told us that. In my timeline, I may be a little off on a lot of it because a lot happens in 5 months. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit tired today, just like I'm sure you are tired, all right? But on June 7th, you drove Valerie ultimately back to your residence, okay? And you arrived at your residence at 12:59 p.m., okay? And then between 12:59 and roughly 4 o'clock, something happened. And our job was to fill the gap in to try to figure out what happened. And as the investigation unfolded, that led us to today, in which we found the box with Valerie's body in it behind your shed. Okay? Now, I could have come in here and said, Patrick, do you know why I'm about to talk to you? Because that's the common thing. And that was the first thought in my head that I was going to do to you. And then I said, no.
같은 시각 현장에 투입된 B팀은 항공사진에서 특정된 수상한 지점을 파내려가고 있었죠. 모종삽으로 조심스럽게 흙을 걷어내던 수색팀은 꽤 깊은 곳에서 직사각형 상자 하나를 발견했습니다. 하지만 상자를 열자 그 안에는 서류와 수많은 비디오 테이프만 들어있을 뿐이었습니다. 수색팀은 포기하지 않고 더 깊이 파내려갔습니다. 그리고 마침내 또 다른 커다란 나무 상자가 모습을 드러냈습니다. 흙 밖으로 상자가 노출되자 끔찍한 악취가 피어올랐고 상자를 열어본 경찰들은 경악을 금치 못했습니다. 상자 안에는 검은색 비닐 방수포로 겹겹이 감싸인 채 테이프로 꽁꽁 밀봉된 여성의 시신이 들어있었습니다. 그것은 바로 실종된 발레리였죠.
We have been working tirelessly on this case since its inception, executing more than 50 search warrants and expanding countless man-hours in the effort of locating Valerie. Regretfully, during our search yesterday, we discovered human remains buried on a property in Arlington.
Last hour, we've learned the coroner's now positively identified Valerie Tyndall's remains.
시신 발굴이 진행되는 동안 신문실의 수사관은 스콧을 옥죄기 시작합니다.
I think deep down you love Valerie, and I know you love your family, okay? So I decided that when I come in that door just now, that I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain the why, okay? Because we have her in the box, okay? Wrapped up multiple times, taped up in the box of the OSB and the 2x4s that you bought, next to the box that we talked to you earlier about that had the porn videos in it.
Had what?
Had the porn videos in it. We got her in the box next. So you know we have found her. And I didn't want to bluff you on that. I wanted you to know that. And as you're sitting there tearing up wanting to cry, all right? So, I'm going to read you your rights.
도저히 빠져나갈 수 없는 증거 앞에서도 스콧이 입을 열지 않자 수사관은 마지막 승부수를 띄웁니다.
This is the opportunity for you to explain the why. At your residence, we have you, Linda, and Elizabeth are the 3 adults that live on that property. Okay? Own the properties. Let me rephrase that. Because it's at that storage shed. It's not the house. So you, Elizabeth, and Linda live there. You are the 3 that have access to that property. Okay? You are the 3 that have the potential to bury Valerie Tyndall. Patrick, today's the day. The family deserves this closure. And you deserve this closure. Do you hear me? You deserve this closure. because this is aimed at you. We can tell that every time we talked, all right? So I'm going to advise you of your rights. And I'm going to ask you one question, okay? Explain to me what happened to Valerie, and explain the why. Because we deserve it, and everybody else deserves it as well.
Okay, and I got a question for you before we go any further. Why did they pick up Linda?
We're going to talk to her too. She lives on the property. We're going to talk to Linda as well. Because here's the deal, Patrick. How do we know what happened to her? You both live on the property. So we have to talk to everybody on the property. Does that make sense? But I'm giving you opportunity to explain to me.
They don't know nothing.
Okay. Well, this is your opportunity to explain it to me. And this is, does that make sense in an investigation? 3 people on the property, right?
Well, they don't ever go down there.
Okay. But that's 3 people on the property. It's registered to your daughter.
Yeah, I know. I bought it and give it to her.
Okay. So that's why I want to give you the why today, Patrick. Here's the deal. We've got it. Okay? Now I want you to think that right now is a moment of the compassion. And you're going to have to find it, but it's there. And you should care about it. Okay?
철저하게 숨겨왔던 가족들마저 공범으로 몰려 수사를 받을 위기에 처하자 스콧의 멘탈은 완전히 흔들리기 시작합니다. 결국 그는 고개를 떨구며 그날의 끔찍한 진실을 털어놓습니다.
You want to talk to me?
Well, I do. I mean,
What happened to Valerie?
Valerie got carried away.
Doing what?
Huh?
Doing what?
Doing what?
Just lay it out to me. Lay it out to me. What happened to her?
She tried to blackmail me into buying her a car.
Okay. And what happened?
She thought she was going to seduce me and it wasn't going to happen. Things just got carried away.
Well, explain that to me. What's that mean? Does Linda know about it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
It's your chance to tell me what happened.
She tried to seduce me and I wasn't going to have it.
But what happened to Valerie? That's where you're stopping. What'd you do to her?
What'd I do to her?
What'd you do to her? Tell us what you did to her.
Strangled her.
With what?
A belt.
Where's the belt you used?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you still wear it afterwards? Like, did you still use it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Linda got home that day, that night, the night she went missing.
Right.
Okay. What did you tell Linda?
About what?
About anything. What did you tell her? If Valerie's missing or anything?
Well, she found, see what it was, me and gone to, we had to swap trailers around. I'd take one to get it worked on. Then we went to GameStop. Linda got off work. We met up with her and went to Cagney's.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Cagney's, best I remember, we went home.
Okay.
But they sent a text, wouldn't know where Valerie was.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then when you went to move the car, you went over to move the car. Why'd you move the car?
Because Elizabeth seen it.
Okay. And what'd you do with the license plate and keys?
They're gone.
Where'd you put them?
I threw them in a river.
Okay. And then what'd you do with it?
I moved her into the office
Okay. How long was she in there?
till the next day.
Okay. What did, where's the belt at?
It's gone.
Okay.
협박 때문에 벌어진 우발적인 몸싸움이었다는 주장. 하지만 시신을 유기한 과정에 대한 진술이 이어질수록 그의 주장은 궤변에 불과했습니다.
You left her in the office till the next day. Then what happened?
Then when I got home the next day, I just made that box.
Okay. What about the hole?
The hole was already dug. But it wasn't for that, it was because I was going to throw concrete in it.
별다른 용도도 없이 콘크리트를 부을 깊은 구덩이를 미리 파두었다. 상식적으로 납득하기 어려운 변명입니다.
What about the other box?
Just put shit in it.
Did you build 2 that day?
No, just built one.
So you strangled her. What room were you in when you strangled her?
Right there by my bedroom.
Like in that little entryway? Had you and Valerie been in that relationship?
Never.
Okay. So you said she tried to seduce you for the car. Well, explain to me what happened.
she was wanting to come on to me.
Did she say she was going to get you in trouble, or?
Yeah, she was gonna tell everybody that I was making moves on her.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna have it.
Okay.
It just, things got out of hand.
Where'd the belt come from?
It was mine, I had it on.
You had it on? Okay. So explain to me what happened there in that room. Like, how'd you get the belt on her?
I was fighting her off and I took it and threw it around her.
Why were you guys fighting?
Cause she was trying to get, she had tried to take her clothes off
Okay.
and it wasn't gonna do it.
Okay. And then you guys got in a fight?
Yeah, kind of a pushing and shoving thing right there.
Okay. And then you took your belt off, and then what happened?
I put it around her neck and I held on to it till she quit.
How long did you hold that? Give me a ballpark of how long you held the belt.
On her,
Yeah.
just quit moving.
Okay. Did you know she was dead then?
I pretty much figured so.
Okay.
게다가 살인을 저지른 직후 그의 행동은 우발적 범행을 저지른 사람의 태도라고는 전혀 볼 수 없었습니다. 경찰은 수사 과정에서 스콧의 카드 결제 내역과 마트 CCTV 영상을 이미 확보해둔 상태였습니다. 살해 직후 스콧은 인근의 대형 건축 자재 마트로 향해 합판과 합성 목재, 나사 등을 구입했습니다. 영상 속 스콧은 사람을 죽인 직후라고는 믿기지 않을 만큼 아무런 동요 없이 태연하게 시신을 담을 관을 짤 재료들을 쇼핑하고 있었던 것이죠. 이 모든 정황은 우발적 사고가 아닌 치밀하게 준비된 계획 범죄임을 뚜렷하게 가리키고 있었습니다.
What was Valerie saying when this was happening? What she was saying to you?
Nothing I can remember.
Okay. Was she struggling when you were when you were strangling her?
Yeah,
Okay. What were you saying to her?
I didn't say nothing. I just knew she wasn't gonna blackmail me.
Yeah. So because of the blackmail, was that your intention to kill her? To avoid the blackmail?
She was gonna tell everybody that I had my way with her, and that never happened.
Okay. So then, was that your plan? Like, if you were going to be blackmailed, right?
Right.
So was that the reason? Was that the plan to kill her?
No, that just kind of happened.
Okay. Patrick, is there anything I haven't asked you think is important?
No.
I need you to paint the picture for me. So I'm not there, so I need you to paint the picture for me. But I think this had to feel good getting this off your chest, right?
I guess.
You seem like a good guy. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's got to bother you, right? That you killed Valerie?
Well, I wasn't too crazy about it.
Okay.
살인을 저지르고도 일말의 죄책감조차 느끼지 않는 잔혹한 본성. 추악한 살인마의 민낯이 드러나는 순간이었습니다.
All right, Patrick, give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. Yeah, you want a drink of water?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Patrick. So, you're going to be charged with murder today, okay? I assume you already knew that, correct? All right, but in the end here, I do think, like, everything I said was true to you, okay? Everything I said to you was true, okay? When I started talking to you, everything I said was true, all right? Like, I do think that it's the best situation here is that you finally came out, and in the end, I think you are going to be happier that you came out on it, okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Stand up, we're going to throw these back on you, okay? Hop up for me. You got nothing on you, right?
No.
이제 이 악마에게 법정은 어떤 처벌을 내렸을까? 이제 시선을 법원으로 옮겨봐야겠습니다. 2024년 1월 30일 미국 인디애나주 러시 카운티 수뇌법원 패트릭 스콧은 총 3가지 혐의로 기소되었습니다. 1급 살인, 사법방해 및 증거인멸, 그리고 경찰에 대한 허위 정보 제공이었죠. 신문 과정에서 범행을 자백하긴 했으나 피해자가 유혹하고 차를 사달라고 협박했다며 우발적인 사고였음을 끝까지 주장하던 상황. 만약 이 주장을 굽히지 않고 정식 배심원 재판으로 끌고 간다면 유가족은 법정에서 끔찍한 죽음의 과정을 다시 마주해야 하는 고통을 겪어야만 했습니다. 그리고 용의자 입장도 마냥 좋지만은 않았죠. 검찰의 손에는 1분 단위로 기록된 위치 추적 데이터, 철저하게 준비된 안매장 상자, 그리고 홈디포 마트의 CCTV 영상 등 계획 범죄를 입증할 빼박 증거들이 쥐어져 있었기 때문입니다. 이대로 정식 재판을 강행할 경우 가석방 없는 종신형이나 사형이라는 최악의 결과가 나올 수 있음을 스스로도 잘 알고 있었습니다. 결국 체포된 지 불과 2달여 만에 검찰과 유죄 협상을 맺게 됩니다. 가장 무거운 범죄인 살인죄에 대해서는 온전히 유죄를 인정하는 대신 나머지 2개의 경범죄인 증거인멸과 허위정보 제공 혐의는 기소를 취하받는 조건이었습니다. 그리고 2달 뒤인 2024년 3월 11일 마침내 최종 선고 공판이 열렸습니다. 판사는 유죄 협상안을 최종 승인하며 이렇게 주문했습니다. 피고인 패트릭 앨런 스콧, 살인 혐의에 대해 징역 57년형을 선고한다. 아울러 유가족에게 장례 비용 및 정신적 피해 보상 명목으로 1만 달러의 배상금을 지불할 것을 명한다.
A man was just sentenced today to 57 years in prison for killing a 17-year-old in Rush County.
징역 57년. 숫자로만 보면 언젠가 출소할 수 있는 유기징역처럼 보일지 모릅니다. 하지만 선고 당시 나이는 이미 59세였습니다. 즉 116세가 되어서야 감옥에서 나올 수 있다는 뜻으로 사실상 교도소 안에서 생을 마감해야 하는 종신형이나 다름없는 판결이었습니다.
Used to like to go visit boys she didn't know on the internet. And I tried to get her to stop doing that because it's dangerous. And it didn't work. Come to find out it was the boss, not the boys.
You're heartless, soulless. You're a demon. And God will make you pay.
여러분은 이 사건에 대해 어떻게 생각하시나요? 여러분의 생각을 댓글로 남겨주세요. 구독과 좋아요, 댓글은 영상을 만드는데 큰 힘이 됩니다. 감사합니다. 처벌 실화냐?